Okay, so why do we need to take safety matters seriously? So, of course, we need to protect ourselves. We need to protect our colleagues, the people that are working around us. We also need to protect the other workers in our facility and the people beyond the facilities. We also need to protect our loved ones. And later on, we'll cover some um, safety concerns or accidents that have occurred, and these can actually have very um, grave consequences, as you will see later. And because this happens in our workplace, so we also need to consider protecting our workplace, our work or study, and the work that we do. So as you can see, it involves a lot of different aspects of our lives, ourselves, our colleagues, the place that we work in, the people that we work with, our loved ones. And so safety is actually a very personal matter. And so that's why we really need to take safety matters seriously. So when you least expect it, accidents can happen. So you will see from different laboratories worldwide, not only, hindi lang siya nangyayari sa mga, sabihin natin na, okay, mga universities na hindi kilala, na wala masyadong equipments, wala masyadong resources, but it actually happens also to universities that are quite well known. UCLA, Yale, Tsinghua, maraming iba't ibang accidents that has occurred in the past years related to safety, not only in universities that are not well known or not do not have these resources, but even in well known universities these things can happen. And yun, it can range from um, chemical reactions gone wrong, hydrogen gas cylinders exploding, yung simpleng pagtatali ng buhok, once it gets caught in a heavy equipment or heavy machinery, so that can also be quite tragic. And as you will see, minsan in when you're working with biological samples, particularly those that are infectious or infectious agents, accidents can also happen. And so, yun, pwede mong ma-inject yung sarili mo with virus, or you can accidentally or unintentionally bring the virus out. And this can have very grave consequences. And so, yun yung gusto kong i-drive na message today, that for us to do good science, we have to do it safely. So, safe science is good science. Um, yes, we do the work that we do. We do research, we do experiments for good purposes. So, to learn, to help and contribute to the society. Pero if we do not do it safely, it can have very negative consequences. It can have negative impacts din sa society. And so, for us to be able to really contribute and have a positive impact, therefore we need to do safe science. So please clarify lang, hindi safe science in the sense na okay, we stay in a very safe niche. Hindi yon. It's more of how we do these experiments and research and studies. Yon. Okay, so a bit of an icebreaker. Can I just ask our participants to just put in the chat box? I have this illustration of um, what not to do laboratory. So can I just ask you guys to type in a number of a lab risk or lab uh, not to do that you see, and kung ano yon. So just type in the chat box what is yes, 15 horse playing. Number one, what is number one? Rodrigo Baino, what is number one? What is wrong with number one? Okay, so we have a lot of answers. Yes, pipetting with mouth, octopus wiring, covering the first aid chart, um, radiation hazard. Yes, merong spill, disposing chemicals in sink, climbing the cabinet, and so forth. So makita nyo, there's a lot of things that are wrong in this picture. So actually, masyadong pasaway itong Itong ating character dito, halos lahat na lang ng bawal talaga ginawa na niya sa lab. And so actually, yes, you all have like some idea of what are the things that we are not supposed to do in the lab. And as you know, the laboratory can be a very dangerous place if we do not know what are the things that are present there and what are the things that we should and we should not do. And so it is important to learn more about laboratory safety. But I just wanted to share. Okay, this is more of um, my own opinion. So for me, in terms of like the general laboratory safety rules, meron ako numbers 1 and 2. So first, common sense. Use your common sense. I know pwede sabihin na okay, medyo minsan relative yung common sense. What might be common sense to me might be not common sense to another person. And of course, with that, we have to address those things. And later on, we'll cover more on that aspect. Pero I think all of us has like that instinct of when something is dangerous or when something will be risky for us. And so, actually, yung ibang aspects, like for example, yung pagiging parang si Spider-Man na inaakyat mo yung cabinet, you know the chances of it toppling over, of course, common sense naman yun, di ba? Can I get a thumbs up if you think that is common sense? What do you think? Common sense naman, no? Oo. So, yung mga ganung bagay, yes, it's pretty much common sense. Second, yung number 2 ko, avoid shortcuts. Kasi it's when we try to um, circumvent or when we try to yung padaliin yung bagay or the way we do things when we try to avoid following instructions or following the correct protocols, that is when usually things go wrong. So for example, yun nga yung sa pag-akyat nga ng cabinet, so instead of like getting a proper ladder and using that ladder to climb to reach the upper levels of your shelf, yon akyatin mo yung shelf mismo. And so that is a very dangerous situation or scenario. And so yon, these are my general laboratory safety rules. First, use your common sense. You have like some basic idea of what is safe, what is unsafe, and so please make use of that. And second, yun, let's avoid shortcuts. Let's try to follow the protocols that needs to be followed when working in the laboratory.